All right, I think we're live. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another live session, day trading and scalping the NQ at New York/US Open. So, futures trading. I'm going to get a screen up real quick. How's everyone doing today? There we go. Just about to open. We've got about 20 seconds. Amar, good afternoon, Sammy. Good afternoon to you. Con, good to see you. Heng Wong, nice to see you. Charis, good to be back. Furkan, hi to you as well. David Jack, hello, welcome everybody. Good to see you all here today. Oh, we just opened. Holy. Now I haven't really properly marked out. I mean, again, same thing that happened yesterday, right? We have an area here I've got marked out where you want to buy in this little gap in volume, and the open candle, kind of on the 15-minute, you can kind of see it a bit better. The open candle just tapped into it and kind of shot off, but I think there's going to be more opportunity. I think a little bit annoying, but it does that on the open. But yeah, we don't want to trade the actual open candle. UE5, hey Sammy, sellers looking real strong today. Yes, it definitely does, but let's see if they keep it up. I'm going to just bump this up to 24. Oof, they definitely look strong, but look at this volume that came in on this opening candle. That's some serious volume today. 600 delta, but it's very one-sided. Buyers are very happy to buy at the top. Sellers were very happy to buy at the bottom. It looks like the sellers definitely got trapped in that little gap, and it looks like the buyers might take over. I just want to draw out the charts here as well, because these are old zones and I have yet to update all this. So let me just quickly update it on the old Prime account. Get all that. So that's old. It's no longer a gap. There's a gap still there. I can get rid of this. All these tiny little areas. Let's just get rid of that volume profile. We'll redo it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right. It's looking a bit better. That's still a gap. That's still a gap. FOMC didn't really do that much, did it? It is what it is. Now I want to figure out, because look, we're kind of not in a great area. We're in this long-term gap that it did break past, but it's kind of trading in it now. So I'm gonna no longer really keep this as any importance. We've kind of traded through it too many times. This longer term gap is no longer, in my opinion, really all that. So yeah, that's just basically like nothing. The next area we have is all the way down here at 25,966 for the kind of medium term. So in terms of scalping, if we can figure out a direction, because it does look like we're bit in a range here, kind of just went up, down, up, down. We've kind of done at least 4 moves, one up, one down, one up, one down. And if we can kind of figure out a bit of direction, then we can probably start looking like, if we start pushing down, then we can start doing a volume profile from, using the retracement and find any gaps. But again, not really great. There's only a tiny one dead in the middle, but it's dead in the middle of the range. I don't really want to be, it's not for me. I don't like trading in the middle of a range. So bit less opportunity at this moment in time. Ideally, the ideal play would be we come down to here, and then I can have a trade. I think I can have a nice trade if we come down to here. That would be ideal. And it does look like the sellers are, they're slowly getting there. If they can break through, I think we might have it. So we'll see. Let's see on the chat real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, everybody. Peter, Afghan, Wajid. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Good to see you all. David, triple top. Potentially kind of looks like we did a bit of a double top there, and then, but it is kind of, leaning lower slowly, but I wouldn't call this, yet anything confirmed. Like, I think there's going to be more of a retracement, and it's going to start bouncing off these areas. I think more likely we're going to go here, we're going to bounce off, we're going to go back up, bounce off probably another area that will be created as we push down. It could be here, wherever, and then potentially maybe even break back down, because we are still in the longer term in kind of in a range bound market on the daily. So this looks like it was a false breakout overall. But it looks like it's starting to pick up a bit of speed now. So we could actually get to that area quicker than first imagined. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, look at this sell volume coming in. Not bad at all. Those buyers ended up getting trapped. At first, I thought the sellers would be a bit more trapped, truth be told. Just looking at that, and then how we pushed up. But the sellers really were able to kind of take control. Buyers tried to come in again, failed. This is really where then the sellers probably took over, when the buyers failed here a second time and couldn't get it any higher. And then as we traded below them, this is kind of sell territory now. All right. There wasn't really, for me, a move to catch here. So we're going to allow the sellers to play out their little bit. And I will look on the volume profile, double check. I really want to move this down a bit. Yeah, the next area is really down here. There is nothing else to kind of look for. So, all right. They're not that far away now. They could actually do this. How many points is this? 70 points. Whoops, what the hell happened there? Just jumped. 70 points. I think that, the NQ can easily do 70. Oh, look at this. It's really starting to melt down. Really, really starting to melt down. This is good. This means we might have a trade. Now, the volume is coming in heavy, but I'm still going to be a little bit more bullish for the time being, unless we, start breaking these gaps and trade below them. Then okay, I'll start switching, looking more for sell opportunities. But because this is really the first area of like support, if you want to put it that way, the first area where buyers are probably going to come in, and because of that, I kind of I'm going to still lean a bit more on the buyers, because if you look at the overall, this is more of a retracement at this moment in time than it is. We've had all this movement up for the last, for ages now, for almost over a week. We've had this kind of movement up, and this is looking a bit more like a retracement. So I'm not going to immediately be like, oh, we're in a bearish market. It's going to be, down, down, down from here on out. It could very easily, just pull back into here and then continue back up. So let's hope we get down there. That's all I want. Oh, let's just zoom in. Okay, nothing too terrible yet. Still kind of, coming down. Very nice. How many years you trade using volume profile? Pretty much my whole career. I'll say at least over 10 years. You trade the patterns. I don't really trade patterns, but I do notice them. If you see like a really obvious pattern, I'm more inclined to kind of, because, patterns and things like that are kind of self-fulfilling prophecies, right? If enough people notice them and use them, then it becomes real. Do you know what I mean? There's no magic in the pattern in itself. The pattern is there. People notice it and they start, like if we see a double top, people will start shorting. That's going to push the market down. Do you see what I mean? So it's good to notice it. Because if everyone else is seeing something really obvious, you know, you want to be slightly aware that, okay, there's probably going to be a bit of pushback, something's going to occur, you know. Like you wouldn't want to buy into a double top right away. Do you know what I mean? When you get into deep teaching, let us know which levels you are looking at so we can be your alerts. Absolutely. That sounds like a good idea. Deep teaching again. I will. Yeah, I've got a lot of videos in the pipeline, like really in-depth ones. Why are sellers pushing so hard today? Is there a zone they are trying to protect? There's no zone above. This is the thing. I think it's literally just because of you know, it's on the daily pretty much kind of range bound, right? It doesn't look that clean of a range, but if you actually, oh, Jesus, what am I doing? Here we go. If I just get rid of that, if you actually just look at the last, you know, since October, really, yes, we've had big swings up and down. But you know, this is very range bound, right? And okay, we've technically just kind of broke it yesterday, but if you look on the daily as a whole, it's not really like, oh, this is a huge break. You know, we're not really out of that range yet, right? So we could break it now. Like, don't get me wrong, we could have a little retracement and then it finally starts breaking up and we finally get out of that range. That could happen, or it could be a rotation. So naturally, whenever you get like a long-term kind of range-bound market, everyone and their dog is basically recognizing, oh, we're near the top of the range. Either buyers are pulling out, right, because they don't want to hold on to a trade that could very easily reverse, or sellers are coming in saying, hey, look, it did it 1, 2, 3, you know, 4 times, 5 times in the past, however many months. I might short here, you know, if it gives me an opportunity, and that's why you kind of get that happening. But that's literally all it is. I think it's more just, I don't think there's actually any real kind of reason for it other than just structure, you know, collective structure. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to turn on all the stuff again. Here we go. Just made $60 with 1 micro on the bounce. Hit my point of control to the dollar. Beautiful. Well done, Charis. But it is still predicting, not reacting, just buying double top. Yeah. I mean, it is ultimately predicting. Everything is technically predicting, but reacting is kind of more than about like order flow. Yeah. This is all right. We're getting to that area. We might have a trade. Just want to kind of measure how big it is. I'm gonna have to get my cash account up as well. 58. Oh, 58 points, a bit big. All right. Each candle is roughly, this is actually quite a movement, 30 points. All right. I've got my cash account here. Cool. That's up. Just load up. I don't know what size to go in. All right, I'm gonna have 3 contracts loaded up potentially, and then I can add. All right, let's see. Oh, gee, look at that, 500. I don't think it's ready just yet, but it's starting to work. It's starting to look good. It's starting to look potential here. That 500 is definitely sellers taking profit, I think. A lot of the sellers who came in earlier, definitely getting out the market. Their buy limits being hit, so their take profits being hit. When other order flow traders use a lot of tools and you use volume profile and footprint, that's really the major. Those 2 tools are kind of the major volume. Sorry. Oh, okay. Here we go. I completely missed that. Just saw in the corner of my eye, like a bit of madness. All right, we're in that zone. Let's see. I'm going to first enter on my cash if I see it, and then I'll enter on the Ola Prime. All right, bit of buy pressure coming in. You could probably front run it and see. I didn't see really absorption, to be honest. I didn't spot any absorption, which is slightly annoying. but not yet. I want to see absorption. Oh, there was a big jump of buyers, but nothing. That's just a bit more aggression. It's not really, I want to see absorption, bit of aggression. But the aggression's not really doing much. There's a lot of buy aggression coming in, but they're still getting kind of pushed down. They're not really, they're just kind of holding the sellers back, but they're not really doing any damage at the same time. So I want to see a little bit more. You could probably front run this because that's a lot of buyers coming in. If they break that candle, I'm going to front run it on the Ola Prime account, not on my cash. If we break it, we literally broke immediately. Okay, you can get out. Give it a second. Here's potentially a bit of absorption. No, we broke through it. Still breaking through it. Just going to load this up. Get ready to potentially enter. $120, 200, 300. Yeah, being held back a bit here. I don't want to go in my cash yet. Truth be told, I don't want to enter on my cash yet, but if you were to front run, I would front run here and have a stop below that candle. If you were to front run, but I'm not going to enter on my cash yet. I don't think it's ready yet for my cash because I have a much more higher risk tolerance for my like a much more kind of, what's the word? Cautious with real money essentially. And there's a lot more size. So I could front run it on the Ola Prime account, but not with my cash account, not yet, because this is still, I'm still not seeing like huge amounts yet. But I got my finger on buy on my cash account just in case. Just in case those buyers do come in like aggressively and work. Yeah, see, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. So I'm glad I didn't go in my cash yet. Not terrible. I think this could be, this is looking a little bit better. I like what I saw right there from the 200 drop back down to 100. I like that. And it actually had a movement up on the candle. I like that a bit better. But still, they're coming in, these sellers. 200. They're still coming in. It's still not ready. Back down to, oh, that was a good jump there. That was a good jump. Okay, I'm going in on my cash now. Now I've entered in my cash. So I'll enter on the Ola Prime as well. And let me set the stop on my cash first. I don't know what I'm doing here. How can I not have a stop? All right, 1 second. Let me. Okay, I'm in profit. That's good aggression coming in. I'm going to manage my cash account first. I've got my finger on flatten because I want to see get above that volume. That's it. Good, good, good. Go on. Oh, this is nice. This is good movement. This is very nice. All right, don't fail here. Do me proud. That's it, boy. Do me proud. Oh, I got a perfect entry here. I got such a good entry. Oh, this is this is beautiful, that movement. Come on now. There we go, boys. There we go. In terms of take profit, I mean, my take profit's all the way up here, but I'm very happy to get out at, you know, these highs, whatever, because this is a very smooth trade right now. This is very, very nice. Come on, buyers, keep pushing up, keep adding that size. I want to see size. They're starting to fail a little bit here, which is slightly annoying, but come on, keep staying above those heavy buy. I want to stay above this cluster here. I don't want, oh, that's good. Another 200. Come on, add more size, another 100. Really push through. There we go. That's it. Oh, I got a beautiful, I literally got the best entry on my cash account. I'm talking like there. Like my cash account's entry is oh, starting to push back 1 second. No, it's starting to look good. It's still okay. Yeah, the entry is 5917, literally to the T. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Come on. Come on, stay above. Stay above. Come on, boy. Come on. I don't like this chunk of buyers. They're holding them back. It's still okay. I don't like that stupid sell aggression coming in, but they are being absorbed up, which is good. All right, that's it. Keep pushing up. Come on. No, they're starting to fail the buyers a little bit here. All right, I'm getting out my cash. I'm out. I don't like it. Whether I should get out on the Ola Prime, I really don't. Should we hold it on the Ola Prime? It's not looking. Yeah, no. We want to get out. We're starting to get below this chunk here. It might come in for a retest, but woo! Excellent entry. Oh, all right. I can talk about the chat. Yeah, that again, we had some very nice movement from the buyers here. You know, they just started giving up. I don't know. Sellers came in heavy. It's a little annoying. I thought we could have a bit more of a push here, at least up to, you know, these like midpoint highs here. But I can imagine, you know, the chunk of buyers that came in originally, oh, they're defending. It was a bit more, it was a bit too much of a pullback for me to hold on my cash. Because it is still quite dangerous because of how much sell volume did come in. This is only the first gap of that area. It could very easily want to break through, go to the next one. We're at the top of a longer term range. All that added together, I don't think the sellers want to give up just yet. And yeah, they're not giving up just yet. But I do want to see what happens, you know, around here. Can the buyers do their thing? All right, now a big bunch of sellers coming in. Let's see. What are they doing? 200, 220, 230. They're getting absorbed. That's true absorption right there. You see how the number isn't really changing and it stays fixed at a high number? That's true buy limits absorbing, but I need to see a bit of aggression if it's a defensive play, right? But you see how, look, the numbers are they're not really dropping on the sell side, right? 270, they're always kind of sticking around 270 every time they get there. Maybe it goes up to 300, back to 100. Okay, they are starting to break through it a little bit, but not massively. Now, you know, but they're always adding more contracts. So that's true passive absorption happening. But we need to see aggression. If these buyers want to protect their position, they should be jumping in aggressively to protect, which looks like they're not really doing it yet. A little bit. I mean, it's not perfect. Let's just put it that way. Not perfect yet. I want to see aggression. Yeah, see, without aggression, they can break through. That's the problem. You need true aggression, but there was definitely an iceberg sitting right here. That was probably, I mean, let's see if buyers, I mean, they could still try and defend whether they're out the market. Who knows? It doesn't look good. Don't look good. So not yet. I think that was these sellers are coming in mental. They're coming in really strong. Oops, what did that keep happening? Let's have a look. Was a gap in more volume. We have another level below. Entered at 37. Benjamin, good evening as well. I just saw your message. Nice trade, good work. Thank you, thank you. I entered at 19. How many accounts are copied? My cash account's just that. There's no copied trades. Nice one. Thank you, Heng. Thomas, hi Sam, great trade. Thomas, good to see you. Thank you. You're the fastest scalper. Oh no, there are scalpers way quicker than me. Peter, hi Sammy, your YouTube popped up on me yesterday, so I was watching your vids all night. Now you made me $30. Cheers. Can't believe your stream and stuff is free. Well, probably that will change. Now the stream is always going to be free. Don't worry. It's always going to be free. But appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oof, the hell happened there? That was some crazy volume came in. Look at those sellers stuck at the bottom. What the hell happened there? I would have loved to see what actually happened in real time there. I had my eye off it. I thought this area was just going to break and we're going potentially back down to the next, but it might, maybe not. Who knows? I don't want to front run it and jump in. I'll keep my eye on it, see what's going on. Let's see what's happening. I mean, I would expect a bit more of a push up. This is the thing. Like, yeah, we had, two very nice bullish candles. We caught them nicely, but it's only two. It really wasn't like it started off so nicely and it just gave up, just failed. Typical, right? US factory order. Oh, yes, of course. Of course, you're absolutely right. But I can't imagine it'll do much. It's still, I think it's yellow folder. But good to know. I will still be happy to be in the market during that news. ES is in a zone as well. Yeah, the ES, generally with the Nasdaq's in a zone, the ES is in a zone. Unless they're very different on certain days, they can be like polar opposites for some reason. But generally, they kind of, they pretty much related. Would you do mentorship? Quite honestly, I just don't think, it's not that I wouldn't want to do it. I just don't think I have like the time day to day to really do mentorship, unfortunately, because I work full time for Ola Prime as well, and then I trade as well. And do you know what I mean? There's only so many hours, sadly. But if I ever do, I'll let you guys know. Can you check 25,852? I see point of control of the previous session and high volume node on anchored volume. So the session the session volume profile you're looking at, or 834 actually. 834. I can have a look. If it's the session volume profile, I'll have to turn that on. Because I think anchored is I don't know. I don't know where you drew it from though. Do you see what I mean? If it is anchored. So you're talking about the previous session's volume profile 8. What was it? 834. Let me go to the 15-minute real quick. Let me find this. 834 around there. Yeah, there's a point of control quite near it. If you're talking about that, but that's the anchored from the bottom of the move all the way up to to the top. Oh no, that's not the point of control for this. The point of control is all the way down here. The point of control for that is like a really long-term one for the whole like daily range that we've had for the last few months. Is the point of control I have. This line here, yeah. Let me just see what's going on in the footprint, because we're breaking this area now. Come on, zoom in. Let's see. Because we might have a potential trade. If we get back, like, is it a real break, a false break? Who knows, right? So this area had a bit of a rejection, nothing too major, sadly. But the good news is we've got another area down below. And if we, because it looks like we've broken it truly now. If we get a pull back into it, we can actually go short now. So we have two potential trades: short up at the top, long down here. So I mean, you could argue it's a bit shitty, but you could argue we broke it here. I wouldn't call that a true break, and then we had the pull back into it. But again, these zones are, where they start and end is adjustable based on the row size. I have it set at 24, but the actual true gap could end around here, for example, and it would have been a break. So yeah. Jose, hey Sammy, hope you are good, mate. Greetings from Guatemala. Jose, greetings, Guatemala. I think you're the first person from Guatemala in this chat that I've seen. So awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. You trade in Friday and Monday. Yeah, I trade Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just not the weekend, obviously. Of a previous daily session comes from session volume profiles automatically at the same time on the anchored volume profile of the previous 3 days or something shows high volume node. Gotcha. I'm with you now. Okay. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's one. Oh, we're back in that area. That moved so freaking quick. Come on, zoom in. That happened so damn quick. Holy moly. It gave me no time to... I'll get back to it, Charis, in a minute. It gave me no time to react there. My God, look at that volume. Okay, this could be a good reversal. You could definitely front run here. Just because of that volume. If that gets squeezed out, we've got a good trade. Like, you could literally front run this trade. Like, I'm going to front run it on Ola Prime. I'm not going to go in my cash because I don't want to front run against that. But the amount of volume that came in, if we keep breaking down, fair play, like you can have a stop, as a front run. But like, okay, they did almost break through it. But yeah, 2,000 contracts on the delta. A lot of the time when you see that happen, you kind of get a very quick kind of not reversal, but a very quick kind of correction. So if you're into front running, that's the way to do it. Well, not the way to do it, but that could be all right to do it. But if you want the confirmation, you really want to see, like I said, true absorption happen, trade above it, and aggression. So we had not great absorption, but half decent. I'm going to load up, get ready on my cash potentially for a buy. But you're seeing buyers are coming in, but they're getting pushed down, so it's not ready. You don't want to see that. You want to see ideally buyers more lower down, and they actually managed to kind of hold and push up like these guys here. That they perform better, right? But naturally, we know there's sellers still in the market, so you kind of want to wait a little bit. That wouldn't be a bad time to front run again if you wanted to front run. But I will let you know when I do actually enter on my cash, if I do. So if you want to copy the cash account, which is going to be a lot more, what do you call it? A lot more cautious and reliable. Copy when I say I'm entering in my cash. If you want to copy front running, then just copy what I do on the screen on Ola Prime. But this is not looking terrible. I would probably jump in a little bit on my cash now. I'm going in 2 contracts on my cash right now. I'm in. And I got my stop. Let me just put my stop first. I want to see, come on. They failed ever so slightly. I want to see buyers get above. Nah, they're getting below again. It's not ready. I'm getting out almost immediately at my cash here. I'm not even letting it stop me out. That wasn't ready yet. You see how for a second, like they look like the buyers are doing good, but the moment we got below them and started failing, it's not ready yet. It's just not ready. It's not going to happen yet. But in this area somewhere, I think there's going to be a pullback. So let me get ready. That happened very quick. See, again, you could front run it, but not yet. I want to see a bit more confirmation. Not yet. Yeah, see, we always trade below the heavy buyers that come in. So we kind of want to wait for a bit more confirmation now. Do you know what I mean? Wait for something a bit more better. Because they are coming in, but they're getting okay. Wait for it. I want to see if they stick now. If they don't stick, they're starting to. These buyers are. All right, I'm going in one contract on my cash. So I got in 8-1 on my cash account. So 8-1. Let me just set 1 second. Let me set this because but I got my finger on flatten. I am up. I've got a better price. I don't even know what I'm doing with this take profit. Let's just put it up here. Let me just manage this trade real quick. 3, 870. I really should be keeping my eye on this. Okay, we'll keep it there. Finger on flatten. All right. Okay. What the hell happened up here? I didn't see it. Come on. Come on, buyers. You were doing okay. You had it for a moment. 8125 is where I entered. 8125. Where the hell's 8125? I'm going to draw a line so I know where so I can just have my finger on the exit, but I can focus on the footprint on my cash. Because if I see it go near my line or go back or whatever, I can get out before, basically, before anything. There it is. Come on, let's see. We're not yet at my entry, which is okay. Come on, trade above those sellers now. That's it. Trade above the sellers. This is going to be good. If we truly push up quickly with speed, that's it. Above these sellers, this is okay then. Come on, come on. Trade above them. Don't allow them to bully you. Come on, trade above. Come on. You don't want to fail yet. Come on. The sellers keep coming in. They are very, very, they are extremely aggressive. What I am going to do, though, real quick, is draw a volume profile, which I haven't done yet, on this downward leg to see if there's any kind of gaps that we could have problems in. There's a slight one there. So that will be the first kind of, all right, maybe this might be a bit problematic. So I'm just going to have my line here. I will look at the chat in a second, but I just want to, come on. They're really struggling here. Come on, buyers. The sellers keep reloading, which I don't like. Come on. It's looking good and it's looking bad. Like around this area here, we're not allowing the sellers to get below, which is good. And buyers do keep coming in. But the sellers are very aggressive at the top as well. There's a little bit of a battle. And I just want to see that aggression from the buyers come in and break through these and trade above all these sellers here. Come on. They're adding size. It's looking half decent. Come on. Explode. Get that pop. Bit more. You need more than that. This is still dangerous territory. I need more than this. I really, really need to see more than this. I want to see the sellers give up for a little bit and kind of be like, all right, fine. It's going to be a pullback or whatever. And then they let go for a bit. They lay off the gas. Because they're still heavy on the gas. Like every time, like, look, minus 60 from positive numbers. They're still at it. These bastards. They're not letting go. Come on. Buyers come back in now. Let's see if we can get another Another little push. I'm going to get out of my cash, I think. If we go to my break even, I'm getting out. I'm not going to hold it. They're freaking strong, these sellers. So the black line is basically my entry on my cash. So we're there. All right, I'm out. I am out. I'm not looking to hold this just yet. For the Ola Prime, I mean, this is not even. I think I'm going to hold it a little bit more for the Ola Prime. Why not? Let's keep it running a bit, because I may jump back in on my cash account if I see absorption. So I'll just hold it on this because I want to manage it a bit better here. Nah, they're coming in very strong. Let me get rid of this black line. I don't need it anymore. Nah, this is. Look at these size. They're coming in. Ooh, all right. This could be interesting. 400, 450, 380, 450. Jeez. My God, look at the cumulative. We're negative 15,000. Oh, that was a big jump up from 4 to 2. I mean, down, sorry. Well, technically up. 363. Come on. 250, 220. It would be front running if I enter my cash here, but I think that was a big enough volume for me to just put on a little bit. I'm going in another contract. All right, I'm in at 80. So here, it was just a big enough numbers for me to be a little bit, why not? Let's do this. That's it. And it was really just this 450 back down to 200 and the immediate kind of push up from it that gave me that clarity to jump in. I wish I put a little bit more size on. I'm only in one contract, which is next to nothing, but it's fine. It's fine. I've already made, I'm in green. Look, every time we get to the top of this damn area, I'm going to still hold it for a bit because I think we're going to break through. I think that was a very positive sign. I quite like that. I quite liked it. I need to see them get above. Get above here. Come on, really pop through. When it does, you'll see a pop. Look at that. We're back into this freaking every time. What is it about this stupid area that the sellers keep trying to... I spotted it now. I see. I've just seen it. So this is something I need to explain, but let me explain it once I handle this trade. I'm debating whether to hold it just a little bit and leave my stop in place or get out at break even. I'm really debating. Just give me a second to look at these numbers to see what's a good idea. So what I'm seeing, I want to show just what's here. This 202, 202. That right there is a telling sign. I'll explain that in a minute, but that really only matters on TradingView, and I'll explain what that means. I think I'm going to get out here. I think it failed. We're back. I want to see what happened just here. If we break below here, I'm getting out of my cash now. I mean, that's pretty much my stop loss is there, because that's where the original buyers that pushed it up a little bit came in. Let's see if they have any kind of pushback here, or if they're just there's nothing there. Nah, I'm out. All right, so let me explain this 202, 202. Now, that is not it's not because 202. Let me get out of this. Sorry, I should have got out ages ago here. I just forgot about it. But this 202 and 202 is not, it's not a coincidence that they're both exactly the same size, right? This is just a way TradingView calculates the footprint, right? So all they get from the CME is the size, like the size of like how big the order was contract wise, right? And the time, and if it was, you know, on the ask side or the bid side, right? That's all they get. Now, what the footprint, the way, because I even emailed TradingView because sometimes I saw, why is the numbers all the same? Essentially, what they do is that they know in this area there was 404 negative delta, but they don't know because it was placed so quickly. They don't know which individual price point each order was, so it clumps together into one. So they know there's 404 delta, but they don't know the distribution of it, so they evenly distribute it. In other words, it's a gap, right? In other words, it's a gap. It gapped through so quickly, they don't know the distribution of those orders. So if you were to make the thing even smaller, right? So let's just drop it to 12. You will see 101, 101, 101, 100. This is just basically one big giant gap, right? And that is exactly why every time we get up here, it kept rejecting, essentially. And yeah, that's essentially it. It was a giant gap in that little area. And you can just about kind of see it here. It's a bit off on Project X, but so yeah, if you do also see that on the delta, like multiple of the same number just happened, you know that's also a gap. Like it literally jumped. It gapped right through. Let me just get rid of all these drawings. Don't need them anymore. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a serious pullback, man, a serious push down. The sellers are not giving up here, and they're just putting in so much volume, which is absolute insanity. I'll get to the comments in a second. I just want to reposition what I am going to do here. So give me 2 seconds while I figure this out. On 24, that's okay. Let me set that up there. That looks all right. I just want to draw out any potential. So I want to do a volume profile from this move down now, right? And find, I mean, obviously we know there's a gap there because of that 202. Now it's a little bit off here. The real gap based on the footprint is actually there, but the volume profile, it's got it a little bit off, but nothing too terrible. But yeah, if we get it back up here again, I might be willing to short. If we get that pullback, but I don't want to go long yet now. I want to hold off going long. Just want to find lower down if there's anything else. Oh my God, look at this, 400 again. What the hell? This volume is insane. By the way, negative like 17,000 on the cumulative is ridiculous. I think that's the biggest cumulative delta we've had since this year. I don't think we've crossed. I think there was a day maybe a couple of weeks ago or last week. I can't remember exactly when, but there was a day where the cumulative was, I think, around like 10 or 11,000, and that was already like, whoa, that's massive. I haven't seen it go over or go to 17,000 in a long, like anywhere in a long time. So this is a very ridiculous amount of volume that we're seeing right now. Just seeing if there's a pullback. Okay, let's get to the comments. I've probably missed quite a few. Let's have a look. Okay, this is going to be a huge reversal, I believe. We broke inside previous week candle, but once bounce above again, it should accelerate. I think there is a big chance of going up. I mean, the amount of volume that's coming on the sell side compared to the movement we had is a little bit off, in my opinion. Like again, 17,000 delta. And okay, we've pushed down nicely. Don't get me wrong. Like that is a good push down, but it's 400. I mean, 450 points is actually a lot, to be fair. It's actually a lot. It is actually a lot. It doesn't look like that much, but it's actually quite a big chunk. And they just keep coming in. Look at this. They keep coming in, but they are getting absorbed a bit. It's a tough one. Because naturally there's going to be a lot of pushback from the buyers doing exactly what we've done today here, trying to buy the dip essentially. So the sellers are going to have to put in a lot of volume to keep getting it down, which it looks like they are doing. I don't want to call that it's a bearish market, but look at that. Sometimes you get these moments of like, this is beautiful. You get these moments of absolute, beauty from the buyers where they just, I don't know, they just something incredible happens, like how they instantly push the market up so quickly, trap the sellers at the bottom. This could be our pullback potentially. This could be our good pullback here. Where is the area? I haven't got it drawn out, have I? All right, let me just draw that out real quick. I'll just put it as lines. This is so tiny. I can barely see it. There we go. All right, we're back into that kind of area where the sellers kept. Let's see if we can get above there. Let me just go a little bit higher, see what happens. Sellers again coming in as expected. Nothing really too dramatic. 200. They're starting to fail a little bit now. It's not the. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to keep watching it. Let's see on the chat real quick. Robert Mashiro is back. Good to see you, Robert. Long time, man. Long time. I wish I can share my charts with you about learning your concepts 2 days ago. I caught ES over 50 points. That's amazing, man. Really good to hear. Gregory, do you always build a position with micro contracts? Do you ever use? Gregory, just ignore basically the Ola Prime account. This is just a demo account right now. Like I could full port this. I'm just doing micros just to kind of show that like on a volatile day you should be using micros. Do you know what I mean? But ultimately what happens in this account, like right now, if I wanted to full port long 6 contract, it literally means nothing. This is absolutely made up. It's bullshit, right? Because it's not a real account. Okay, it has no real life consequences whatsoever. It's just completely made up. While I wait for my account on Ninja Trader or TraderVate, that's literally. But I gotta trade something in the lives, but I can't show you my cash account because I'm employed by Ola Prime itself, right? So this is all just made up. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But normally, yeah, if you're doing like a prop firm kind of account, I would always recommend micros, 100% micros, because like if you're using minis, a couple of trades that go bad on a volatile day, that's your account gone, and it's very hard to recover because you just don't have enough drawdown available. If you use micros realistically, like 3 micros or something, like it doesn't matter really. Like you're okay, even if you have a bad losing streak, you can probably recover from that. As long as you don't try and make it up with size, that's when the issues come in. You can get footprint charts on TradingView. How did I not know this? A lot of people don't, but there's a video on my channel how to get the footprint charts on TradingView. That will explain it. I'm going to try 25,700. There is a high volume I'm waiting to bounce off. Plus on Bookmap, there are resting orders. Very nice. 25,700. Yeah. I mean, it looks like we actually knocked off on this point of control here. To the T, actually. I think I even noticed that before. I don't know. Why do you use the NQ for delta? I just prefer the. What do you mean? Use the NQ for delta? Like, why do I use the delta for NQ? I mean, it's not specific to the NQ. It's just I like using the delta footprint as a whole. If I'm trading the ES, I'll use the delta as well. You can use the ask and bid. Like, that's fine. But for me, it's just how my eyes are trained to look at it. I look at the live numbers changing, like 270, 280. Okay, bit of buying coming in, drop back down to 270, 250. Yeah, okay, there's definitely true passive absorption. I might want to enter, for example, for a buy. Aggressive buyers come in, go in hard. Like, again, I'm just, making an example. Like, I like to see, that kind of real play in real time using the delta, but it doesn't. Yeah, I think that answers your question. I'm not entirely sure what you mean though. That area with the multiple 202 orders, would that be something where big institutional activity took place? Yeah, absolutely. That's a big aggression in one chunk was placed. And I think that was the candle. Sorry, let me just get out of this trade. This was obviously just well, what was I going to say? Yeah. That 202, wherever it was, where was it? Somewhere here. Yeah. So that was a candle, I think at the time. I wasn't looking at the screen, but I was like, whoa, this happened really quick. But I didn't see how quick it happened. Clearly it happened, especially this area. It pushed down so quickly. Even TradingView couldn't calculate or keep up with where each order was exactly placed. So they just lumped it into one big order. But that's essentially 100% institutional activity. Only really an institution can place that kind of size orders, right? So that's why we're getting so much defense in that area, because they are defending their position essentially, right? Hello, I am new here. Could you please show me where you got your footprint in TradingView? Yes, absolutely. There's a video on my channel. I've already got it. Watch that video. Very easy. It's called How to Set Up the Volume Footprint on TradingView, or How to Get the Volume Footprint. It's quite recent. You won't miss it. All right. Crazy day. I had to put a buy under the previous day low as a specific level and accidentally, what's going on here? Okay, they're starting to slowly accidentally added too many contracts. Luckily it bounced and worked out in my favor. Very nice, good stuff. But that was scary. It is a lot of volume today. Low of the day is in, or the market is wrong. Good morning, you amazing. Hey Tom, how are you doing? Dr. Kais. I'm trading the ES, by the way, not the NQ. Okay, interesting. My funded account A+ setup didn't form, so I switched over to an eval account and passed the challenge in one trade. Amazing, Tom. Incredible stuff. I'm done for the day now. Yeah, it has been. Hi, Sammy. Darkfire, good to see you. Ola Prime needs to bring you guys back. Yeah, we're not doing HPTV anymore, man. It's all just individual stuff now. Glad to see the views increasing. I haven't actually looked at the views. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got a lot of 85 viewers. Amazing, incredible. Welcome to every new viewer as well. Gregory, okay, fantastic. Thank you. The MNQ has more volume. The market, yeah, but okay, the MNQ has more volume because it's smaller. But it's essentially look like the MNQ or whether you read the MNQ footprint or the NQ footprint, like the market moves exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? I get what you're saying now. Why are you using the NQ delta? Well, I'm actually trading the NQ on my cash account. So I do like to actually look at the real, the NQ to full E-mini. But, whatever you're seeing, like, they're identical. So what you're seeing here will affect the MNQ. And the MNQ will kind of mimic exactly, or just have bigger numbers. It's basically the exact same thing. Whichever one you read, it's absolutely fine. The market rarely makes it 3 standard deviations from the move, and it bounced perfectly at the second. Interesting. Let me just up the clusters a bit, because they're getting very small and more difficult to read, as you can see. Where are we in this area now? Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to just pop to the 15-minute really quick. Oh, I got this area completely drawn wrong. What the hell happened there? Okay, this is the point of control of a gap right above. Okay, this makes sense. This makes a bit more sense. But yeah, that institution that entered right there, they're protecting really heavily. We're not even able to break past their entry. So, and then there's going to be a bit of a, push and pull, but ultimately I think this is yeah, I think this is more for, we'll see. But we're kind of just going up and down in a little bit of a range. I'm expecting it still to push down, to be honest. I'd be surprised if we actually have a massive pullback here, unless something dramatic happens, unless they all get out. I mean, buyers are still trying, but every time they get there, they fail. But look, it can test many times, and then eventually even an institution will give up. Right? The only reason it's the buyers are failing here is because there's a big player really protecting their position. If they decide to get out of their position, imagine they got out now. I don't think they have, but let's say they did. Then if we go back into that, they're not going to start protecting it anymore, because they got nothing to protect. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, look at that volume coming in. I think we're gonna keep dropping potentially here. I think it's not ready to. Look at that volume. This is insanity. 300. We're now back to 17,000 negative. 17,000. We're approaching 18,000. About to hit 18,000. There it is. 18,000 negative delta. What an insane amount of volume. Absolute insane amount of volume. That's the biggest day we've had this year. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Well, considering the amount of volume in the market, you kind of want to start siding with the sellers, right? I mean, it just don't seem like they want to give up. So, I've been watching. Okay, let's see what other viewers. Hey Sam, how do you do, bro? I'm good. How are you? I've been watching your vids. They really help out. I spotted some nice scalps earlier. Very good stuff. Excellent. Good to hear. Charis, every day you get plus 200 subs. I watch them grow. Yeah, it's been growing really well. Incredible stuff. What's your volume profile row size, please? 24. Okay. Your volume profile zones was top notch. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, Sean. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you have not liked and subscribed, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Tom. Yes, if anyone can, take the second to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, that would really help me out, and I would appreciate that. Trade GC, bro, gold, bro. Honestly, gold, it's just not, like, for order flow, it's not as good. It's not as good as the indices. And I've explained this many times. Like, gold is a huge market, right? Like, the orders you're seeing here really do affect the price of the NQ. Same with the ES or the Dow, right? Because the futures market is the biggest chunk of those assets, right? Gold is traded so heavily in CFDs. You're not seeing the full scope of the orders, right? So many other things affect gold's price. So what you're seeing on the order flow is only a smaller amount of what can actually affect gold's price. So it's not as accurate. Does that make sense? And that is why I don't quite, I prefer to trade NQ in the indices because they're a more full market for what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. You should start your own Discord or Zoom live trading room. You'd have so many subscribers. I've never heard of a Zoom live trading room. I didn't even think that was a thing. But I mean, it could be something we can do. I mean, I'll have a talk with the Ola Prime guys whether they'll allow me to do that, because I am under contract, obviously employed by them, so I can, but I'll see maybe if that's something we can do. I'm new here. What is your strategy? Be a bit long to explain right now, but there are videos on my channel where I do explain kind of, like the last volume profile one is a big chunk of it. And then like entries comes into the footprint, and there are like trade breakdown videos where I show, but I am going to make a strategy, like a proper strategy video very soon. So that will come out. That will come out soon. Maybe the plunge team will come save the day. Guys, make sure to like the stream. It brings traffic. Thank you, Gregory. Subscribe. Your video is really helpful. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, I see on my cash account there is a zone here. For some reason, I haven't got it drawn out on. I just want to double check what the hell I'm seeing on my cash right now, because I see we're entering a zone, but I haven't got it drawn out on TradingView. Give me 2 seconds while I do 5 minute. Probably see it a bit quicker. Come on, load. Okay, I think I drew it right. My cash account, I drew it from here. That's why. No, there isn't a zone. What the hell am I seeing on this account? Has it already been filled? And it's an old. Okay. I see what I've done. It's already been filled ages ago. I just never took it off. All right. So let me get rid of that, because that's distracting. That's no longer. It was a zone at one point. Yeah. I think like if I did that or something, there was like a zone there, but it's not there anymore. Okie dokie. Ignore everything I just said. That was let's do that. Yeah, we don't. I really don't want to wait for it to get all the way down here. It's going to be long, but you almost kind of have to. Nothing we can do here. You just got to wait. Sit and wait. Okay, we could get a pull back into this zone again and then short it. And that zone has changed. It's actually all the way there now. It's been filled. Let's draw this right from the top, not just from the move, but actually the whole retracement. Maybe we can see a bit more clarity on what we're looking for. Yeah, there hasn't been something created perfect yet. We just have to wait it out, unfortunately. Like on TradingView for the NQ, because it is a bit different than the M. That's it. It's freaking NQ and MNQ, of course. I keep forgetting I'm on MNQ chart on Project X, and I'm on the NQ here, and on my cash account I'm on NQ as well. That's why I'm seeing slightly different things on the MNQ, and I'm like, what's going on? I always forget I'm on the MNQ here. It's very annoying. Okay, I'm with you now. I am with it. All right, if we get a pull back into that area, that's worth a short, in my opinion. So let's go back to the volume footprint. My God, we're almost at 20,000. 20,000. We back in here. Sammy funded. Time to eat. Henny, good to see you. 600 still on the plate. Where's 600? All the way down here. I mean, it's a nice round number. I think, I think we're just going to drop. Why haven't I got any zones on here? What the hell? Did I not draw them out? You know what? I never drew them out. I don't know why this is drawn. Okay. Let me just get it on trading view. Yeah, see, the next zone is so freaking far away. But the real, like the best one by far, the one that's going to be so nice is this one here. Like the one you really, 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 really want to buy into is right here. I mean, it's just beautiful, this zone. This is very kind of, it's barely a dip. But this, oh, this is lovely. This right here is you know what? You never know. We might get down there today. It's unlikely because it is very far away. But this does, like the amount of volume coming into the market, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually managed to push all the way down. Like it's just not slowing down. It just doesn't, it's just eating it up. I just tried going into Ola Prime and bloody Norton blocked the site saying it's dangerous webpage. Did it really? Bloody hell, Norton. What the? I promise you, it's not a dangerous webpage. I don't know what Norton's on about. Things I learned from Sam besides the amazing lessons on volume profile and order flow. Number one, NQ responds to that's absolute rubbish. Prices is taking a piss and ultimate side. Oh, Tom, you crack me up, man. You crack me up. I love my brother Sam. A great guy. I've had several conversations one-on-one. He's just genuine. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. And you too as well, man. You're awesome. Robert, take care, man. Have a good trip to work. Drive safe. Dow blew 3 accounts. Man, the Dow has no reasoning. I can't believe Elon is getting rid of the Model S and X. Is he? I had no idea. Is he actually getting rid of it? I don't know if that's like a reference to something or. But Dow, yeah, Dow is dangerous, man. Dow is tough. Dow is the hardest one to trade of the 3 indices. ES is the easiest. NQ's mid. Dow is hard. That's just the reality of it. If you want, calm and boring, ES. You want a bit excitement, NQ. You want absolute madness, Dow. Fatty, good to see you. How are you? Tom Rogers. Yeah, now Elon is moving Tesla to robotics. It looks like he's moving out. Nah. Is he really? Is that what's causing this massive sell-off? Did that just come out in the news? When did this come out? What the hell is he doing? What do you mean he's moving out of the car business? It makes no sense. Tesla's a massive freaking company in terms of the stock market. Well, yesterday's earnings. My God. I mean, I knew Tesla's overrated, like massively overbought, It really isn't worth as much as it is on paper, but still, I am shocked. I'm genuinely shocked by that. I did not expect him to drop the car business. Like, why? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, then again, what can you believe nowadays, right? But that's making a bit more sense why there's such a big sell-off right now. If he's actually that makes absolute sense now. I need to get financial juice up and have a look at this stuff. I need to have it on like the corner of a screen. When did this come out? Anyone know? When did it like when was it properly announced? I would love to know the time when it was announced to see oh, yesterday. Well, I guess we started the push and then there's a tiny bit of a delayed reaction. If it started yesterday, I don't know. I mean, we had to open in it. Okay, I guess, you know, to open all the orders getting filled and execute, that kind of makes sense as well. Because yeah, this is a sell-off like you know, there's no it's rare we get days where it just kind of the volume is so strong, like no one can kind of battle against it. It's one of those days you could pretty much just kind of go in short at any point and you'll be okay for the most part, as long as you have a big enough stop. Do you know what I mean? Those days, they don't happen very often, but when they do happen, it's just like a steam train. You know, nothing really stops it. You get the odd little slight pullback, and it looks good for a little while, the pullback, but then it instantly, nope, gone, done, not having it. And it just like it's very hard to lose money shorting a market like this, because it's just like right now you can see there's some kind of, you know, something's happening to hold the market back a bit from going down, right? For the last three candles, oh look, bit of buy pressure may be coming in. We might get a slight retracement, whatever, but then at some point the sellers just nope, take over. They just buy in, selling. They just don't. So yeah, I don't really want to be buying. I would still be willing to buy in these gaps down below, absolutely. Still be more than happy to potentially buy them. But I would feel better shorting the market on a pullback. So we'll see which one comes first. What time is it? We're at 3. We've still got plenty of time. Good. Look at Tesla stock. It's literally taken the whole market down. Let me have a look. One sec. I'll look in a second. It's literally all market down. R2 Y is the order flow. Easy with it. I've never tried, Mo. I've honestly never tried. Search BBC News. Tesla cuts car model and shifts to robotics and AI. That's shocked me, man. The big tech stocks are all getting a beating. Apple, Nvidia, yeah. Do you think this could be the beginning of the bubble being burst? Who knows? You know, the talk's been around for ages now. We all know it's going to happen at some point. What would be the catalyst for it? I don't know. But what I can confidently say, I'm not going to make any predictions because trying to predict something like that is tough, right? But what I can confidently say is that this is the biggest, in terms of cumulative delta, this is the biggest amount we have seen this year. I have never seen minus 20,000. I saw it at some point last year. Can't remember when exactly, but yeah, like very occasionally, very rarely. This is by far the biggest volume trading day we've had this year. So that's all I can say. What that translates into, God knows. Does that translate into potentially a much bigger sell-off, or is it just going to be essentially a quick correction and then people are just going to start buying again and buying and buying? Who knows? Even gold and silver is selling off. I mean, yeah, they're about time. Gold is overdue. It's been looking like a meme. Yeah, I agree. It's about time with gold and silver. There's got to be some level of correction. People are going to take the money out the market at some point. It's just ridiculous. Gregory, I don't think there is a high demand for robotics in the home, maybe in factories and if they get them to harvest food. I agree. Like, I think there's going to be a few people out there who'll buy the Tesla bot or whatever. But for the most part, I mean, I don't think it's going to be, maybe in like 20 years, 30 years time, it'll be like a commercially, everyone will kind of, it's just the norm, like a computer is now, but when computers originally came out, no one really had a computer at home. Maybe that, but for the most part. But then again, you never know, man. You never know. It depends how good it is. I just don't like the idea of some kind of robot connected to some data center living in my house. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, like over the top, but I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. The idea that there's just some, like, who's looking on the other end if they could. And I know your phone can spy on you. I know your TV can spy on you. Freaking everything spies on you nowadays, right? But it just feels a bit more, yeah, iRobot. It feels just a little bit more dangerous almost when it's like that. But God knows, who knows? I don't know. All right, we're starting to approach 532 is kind of the area. We're getting there. I think we will get there. I think it's starting to move quite quick. But again, not even a pullback, just a little bit of a stop. Buyers try to come in again. They just instantly failed. Sellers, they're just adding. Look, we're at 21,000 now. It's not looking like the buyers are really going to take over anytime. I'm going to be extremely cautious buying in this area. I think there might be, if it holds in any way, there might be enough for a very quick scalp, maybe 20 points. And then the moment you want to get out, really look to sell again, kind of reverse your position. Or if you're more comfortable, wait for the pullback to occur and then reverse, and then short. But could be been looking at these highs for a while, plus they need something to blame on Trump. Gold may go to 10,000. Can you imagine? Hey, bud, market is crazy volatile. Ryan, I know. What a day, right? We're just here talking about the volume that's coming in. This is the most highest volume day we have seen this year. Insane cumulative delta. Absolute insane. Yeah, home robots wiping my ass in the next 50 years. That I could get on board with, when I'm old and decrepit. And, I need assistance. I wouldn't mind a robot doing that. I prefer a robot than a human being, to be honest. I'll buy a robot then, but for now, I can make my own coffee. I can cook my own food. I don't know. I can do all that stuff. I don't need a robot. That's overkill. All right, we're getting so close now. Come on. A few more points down. You can do this. 30 points. Did you see gold? Crazy. Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at gold. I want to switch to gold and have a look. I'll look at it in a minute because we're so close to this area. I feel like I could potentially miss what we've been waiting for. So I just want to keep it. I keep trying to look. I would set an alert, but normally I would set an alert around here anyway. So I'll still look at the chat every so often and just kind of glance. Hopefully I don't miss anything. Do you know what is the cause of this volatility? Well, I didn't know it either, but I think it was Gregory and Tom and a few people in the chat. It comes down to Tesla, apparently. They are getting out of the car business and focusing on robotics. So obviously Tesla being, giant market cap and a giant company, it's just caused a huge sell-off. Apparently their share price is tanking. I haven't actually looked at the Tesla graph yet, but I can imagine it's probably tanking. Look at these buyers trying to come in. It's just complete utter failure. Even if they push it up a few points, the sellers will just instantly come back in. You can short this market at any point essentially today, and you would have been all right. Absolute insanity. I did not expect a sell-off quite like this, truth be told. Did not expect that. Every pullback is being sold, huge entities unloading. Exactly that. It's just pure, everyone's unloading right now. That is it. It's like a slow, this is how, when the market crashes, this is how it performs, but in this is like a slow motion version of it. Like when the market truly crashes and it does it, like it moves a lot quicker, but the volume, the way it kind of just, it just plows through anything you chuck at it. It doesn't matter what zone, it doesn't matter what buy contracts come in, it will just plow through like it doesn't exist. It's like an unstoppable train. It just has so much like torque. Do you know what I mean? So much power. This is like a slow motion crash almost. The way it's performing, and like the most shallow of pullbacks you can imagine. Such shallow pullbacks. Hi Sammy, could you please show your mark levels when you get time? Join stream now. Yes, so I'll zoom out really quick. It's good you actually mentioned that because I need to update these. So as we saw, there's a level now that's created here on this pullback. I mean, on this push down that we've had. So this is the next. There's a slight one there, but it's not really it. Technically, if you really want to be pedantic about it, there is one here, but I wouldn't even really call that a level, to be honest. I mean, oh my, what's going on? It's moving up already. Nah, that's wrong. That is absolute wrong. What is this? Are you kidding me? How many? 3.2 points away. 3 points away. And now you give me the pullback. I mean, to be fair, it's very unlikely I would have just bought blindlessly. I didn't actually see what happened here, but it's very unlikely I would have got in. But come on, NQ, man. I've been waiting for this next area to potentially buy in. You know, I expected it to go into it a bit. You'll see a little bit of movement, you know, some kind of, you know, few candles to give you time, and then it will come out and you can catch a trade like it normally does. But what the hell is this? It gets really close to it and then instantly just pulls. I don't know. Sometimes the market really can piss you off. Time to ditch the US market and go back to the DAX and Bund. Yeah. I mean, look, the US market's still good. Still good to trade. I shorted that last pullback for 30 ticks on ES. Beautiful. 30 I made with you is back in the market. The worst time to trade today. Yeah, it's essentially, look, realistically speaking, I know I was talking about how I want to buy in this area, but if I did, let's say hypothetically, it did get into this area and the pullback happened, I would probably be out the market already. I wouldn't take any chances in this market. Yeah, 100% be like, nope, I'm getting out as soon as I see those sellers coming in. You don't want to chance it. It's just way too crazy, the aggression from the sell side. The likelihood is, I would be very surprised if the buyers could stop the sellers anytime soon. I mean, yes, there's going to be pullbacks and stuff like that to a certain degree. But the sellers have just been absolutely insane. But in saying that, they have to bottom out at some point. Where that bottoming out could be is hard to say. I wouldn't say it was here. I didn't see anything here that would say, oh yeah, the sellers have bottomed out. I haven't seen clear sellers leaving the market. So I think it's still very much in play. I think this is just a bit of a pullback and we're continuing down again. Because the way you would spot sellers leaving would be quite literally, well, more sell contracts on the footprint, right? Because if you were to, let's say hypothetically, I'll do it here on the Ola Prime account, right? Imagine I'm in a sell position, so I'm right now sold, right? And I set a take profit down here, yeah. 25.36 is now a buy limit, okay? So as the market goes down to my TP, all right, and triggers it, that buy limit, which is my TP, will get matched up with an aggressive sell order, and it will therefore appear as a sell on the footprint, meaning take profits getting hit look like sellers on the footprint, but only where it makes sense, right? So if we hit like a low where you would imagine a lot of people are, taking profit, right? And you see a big rise in sellers all of a sudden, that is 100% people taking profit, right? It's just, it matches up, it makes sense, because it has logic to it, do you know what I mean? I'll just get out of this, but what you can, sellers exiting out of fear will look like buyers though, right? So like imagine I sold, imagine I don't know, I sold here, right? And the market starts pushing up really quickly and I'm like, oh, and I click exit. That exit becomes a buy order in a market buy. So it will appear as loads of buyers, right? So yeah. My bad, I bought early. Scott, it's always you, man. Scott, you're always messing up these zones for me, man. Every time I'm waiting for like an area, you get in early and push that price up. You've done it a few times now, Scott. Ryan, my one missed it by 2 points. I had the same zone marked. I know. To be fair, Ryan, I don't think it's truly the move. And if it is the move, then all right, fine. What can you do? It is what it is. Like it sucks, but it happens, But this is still quite a big area. We still got another area below. I think the market isn't done selling. I haven't really seen sellers exiting the market, right? Like we haven't had a massive chunk of, take profits happen. Yes, we had probably a few sellers getting out here, but marginally, I mean, the volume is next to nothing in comparison to what we've had traded. We're still at negative 20,000. I think the sellers are ready to come back in at any moment and push this market even lower. So, yeah, I think there's still plenty of opportunity. Better go for beer today and come to the desk tomorrow. Peter, that's probably a great idea. Take today off. If you're in the green today, unless you're, I mean, look, by the looks of it, I don't want to give like advice and it potentially bad because it is very volatile and things, when it's fundamental based stuff like what is happening today, Elon right now decides to say, actually, no, we're going back to, actually, we are going to keep our cars and we're not doing this. It's going to shoot up. Do you know what I mean? It could take one tiny tweet and this market is correcting itself back up, right? And everyone's buying. So I don't want to say like, but it is in the way the market's moving. It's one of those days you can pretty much short it almost at any point and you'll be okay. Like it's just, I mean, just look at the candles. It's absolute insanity, right? Like the biggest pullback we had was that. Like next to nothing. It's just been down. Bit of a pullback, down, pullback, down. So yeah, it can very easily. But it could very easily reverse again. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, one tweet, one little, okay, yeah, no, we'll make it our cars again. Don't worry, guys. That was just You know, we didn't mean it. Oh, watch the market shoot up again. So it's very dangerous to trade when it's responding to essentially one individual, and that individual could change everything with one tweet. It should come down to 25,500. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it just keeps going down as well. I would, yeah, 25,500 very easily could do that. That's not far away considering how much it's moved, considering the volume. People are still happily to sell right now. They're still selling. We haven't actually stopped selling in any way. They're still extremely aggressive. Not as aggressive as they were, but there's still big sellers coming into the market. So yeah, I can see it happening. It's just an NQ dodgy pullback. Pretty much. Does 2% CME rule apply here? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Thomas. Can you explain? I mean, we're seeing the first slight cracks in the sellers, but I'm not buying it. Like, I'm not buying that this is any prop firm have 2% CME rules. Right. I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. When you say 2% CME rules, like 2% margin, what exactly do you mean? 2% limit, like daily loss limit or whatever? I'm not buying this, so I think like it's starting to look like, oh look, sellers are starting to fail a bit. I think it's bullshit. I think they're going to just come out of nowhere again, and you're going to have another kind of aggressive push down. I'm not buying this shit right now. This is it's trying to trick you. I'm not falling for it. Not today, NQ. Not today. Again, I don't want to buy until we're really, I don't want to look to potentially even enter a buy until we're in that area. I mean, cumulative wise, 20. Yeah, I don't know. The 2% CME rule in funded futures trading prohibits trading when a market price is within 2% of the CME set daily price limit. The risk management rule protects traders from extreme harm. That's the first time I've heard of it, Thomas. I can double check with Ola Prime in their rules, but that's the first time I've heard of that. I don't think we have that rule. Truth be told, imagine if we get a 1,000 point down day, that might signal a huge correction. Whoa. I think that would signal a crash. I think everyone will be like, nah, this is insane. Let's I think that would be it for the markets. I think we'll have a really, really big kind of, 10% drop or whatever. 10, 15, maybe 20% like we did in April last year. Never know. But we're getting so close to this area every time. Why? Just drop a little bit more. Drop a little bit more, NQ. Oh. Let's see. Do we have any? It's become very boring all of a sudden, hasn't it? Fat finger again. Scott, every time. You're buying it just. Let me double check. I drew this zone. I'm starting to think I've drawn it wrong because it's got so close. What's going on here? Actually, I did draw it wrong, but I actually draw it more in favor. This is actually so still. No, that doesn't explain it at all. Doesn't explain. We still, you know, we've got a bit to move potentially. But we are starting to range a little bit in a tight range, which is good because I can kind of look at the cumulative. All right, we were negative, let's say 21,000. We kind of gone sideways and we're now negative 21.5. It's still very flat. There's only 500 contracts more in the favor or more efficient, more in the favor of the efficiency of the buyers, meaning sellers are still far more aggressive, not far more, but a little bit more aggressive than buyers, but they are actually slightly less efficient right now. Buyers find it easier to push the market up than sellers are to push the market down. And that's probably the first time we had that today in this trading day, which, you know, leads me to believe this could be a bit more of a pullback. This could actually be a bit more of a pullback here. I think there is actual room for a genuine pullback. I would say maybe even up to, you know, back to 25,645. I could see that happening. Just because the efficiency of the market is switched. I mean, it looks like it might be happening now. I mean, perfect timing, NQ. If only you did that every time I got into a trade. But let's see, like every time big buyers do come in, they get, historically what we've had today is sellers just took the other side. And you saw that just there a little bit. But they're not that effective this time, the sellers. This could be a genuine pullback here, guys. This could be it. All right. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, we're still kind of near the highs of this kind of as we went up and down. We got a zone around 4.1, which lines up to, yeah, I got it here at about 4.5 or so, but it's roughly the same here. Potential for, I don't think it's truly bottomed out the market. I really don't, because there just wasn't any clear kind of profit taking happening at the bottom. I think this is just more of a pullback than anything else. But I'm hoping we can get a little bit higher and we can get in short here. But lads, it's the NQ, one day down, 500 points, next day up. It's true. The NQ is so over the top in its reactions. Thought I'd share the 2% down is when it's 2% from CME limit down, which is 7%. So the CME instrument, NQ, ES, etc., needs to be down 5% for you not to be able to trade. Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that rule before, Thomas, but thank you for sharing that. Zoom out, lol. Zoom out on what? Sorry. What do you want me to show? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, that's why I like using this. Whenever there's like a tight range, I like using the cumulative to kind of get a gauge of who's more efficient, and then from there, majority of the time you'll get movement in that direction for a bit of whoever's most efficient. But this is the first actual half decent pullback. I mean, similar to the last one we had, to be fair. But it's the first, like, okay, all right, here we go. We're entering. We're in. We're in the zone. Let's see. Do sellers come in and get this market back down again? Or have they given up? Have the sellers taken their profit? Have they left the market and say, that's all we want? Let's find out. I'm getting my cash account ready as well. So far, nothing. I mean, the point of control shifted down as well, but so far, we're not really seeing. Okay, a little bit there came in aggressive. 93, 33, a bit of sell pressure, but nothing crazy yet. Nothing really. I'm surprised by that. I am genuinely surprised, but no sellers have decided to come in really. Trickle, but let's be honest, these were small numbers. There was nothing you would be like, oh. I'm genuinely quite shocked by that. All right. I mean, that is very odd. I mean, sure. Okay, 109, a little bit now, finally, a little bit. But again, still relatively small for what they were printing earlier. I think. I mean, if you wanted to be front run, you could enter now and have your stop above this candle. So you could, enter whatever, have your stop here, like as a front running kind of position, and hope that we start pushing down. If you wanted to be, but I wouldn't say nothing is actually confirmed on the sell side here. They haven't shown efficiency. They haven't really shown real true aggression. They haven't got below properly any of the, the highest buyers in the range. So I wouldn't say this is like a little bit there. We saw a tiny bit of aggression, but their efficiency is still very low. Obviously, do understand this is not real money. I haven't entered in my cash account. This is so, I can full port this. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying if you wanted to front run, you could with a really tight stop, but I'm not saying that this is like I personally wouldn't want to enter just yet. I could tell you when I see like, okay, this is looking really good, which I will do, but bit better there, little bit better there. I like how it kind of dropped almost, in a split second and it went instantly down, but buyers have. The sellers did fail to get lower than here, so I wouldn't say not yet. But I saw a little glimpse of possibility from the sellers in that area there, but they very much got absorbed up by the buyers almost immediately, so not quite. See, the buyers are doing the same to the sellers now. Yeah, see, the buyers do exactly the same to the sellers right there. Did you see that? I hope you guys spotted that. Right there, like it went from negative to positive almost immediately, quite a lot, and it had like an instant kind of. Oh, and then the sellers just did it. My God, okay, they're really battling it out. Let me get rid of it. Okay, they're coming in a bit aggressive. This would be. Let me just see, 230. Are they getting absorbed? They're still getting absorbed. Look, they put 230 in there, and they couldn't get it down. But it's looking a little bit like now they're finally willing to get in aggressively, but they're still like we're trading above where the sellers came in. Still nothing. I'm still not seeing it. Come on. Show me something. Look at that. Buyers instantly boom at the bottom here. The buyers are more efficient. You saw when the buyers came in, it jumped up. It kind of like gapped up very quickly. They're moving the market when they jump in a lot better than the sellers are moving it when the sellers jump in. So, yeah, until you see that kind of shift happen, I wouldn't want to sell just yet. Not yet. I've got my finger on the sell button to get ready. But it's not happening. 95. But there is absorption here. There is definitely an iceberg or something at the top here, stopping these buyers from getting a bit higher. But the way the buyers are actually coming in and able to gap it a bit, I'd be surprised if that iceberg holds. I think it might actually fail, that iceberg. And look at that. It's as I said, that it's starting to fail. $41.27. Come on. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nah. Buyers broke through it. It just didn't work out for the sellers. They tried. They came in aggressively at one point, but they just instantly failed. They weren't effective at actually making the move happen. And that's why I say the footprint is so important when you're trading, because it can stop you. Like if your strategy is more to front run, fine. Like, you can front run tight stops, but expect to get stopped out a lot more, because you're not putting any real what do you call? You're not waiting for like confirmation, right? This could be a deeper potential pullback. I still don't believe we truly bottomed out, though. I didn't see anything. Truth be told, I saw nothing here that would indicate, oh yeah, these sellers who shorted it all day are out the market. I didn't, not at all. It doesn't look like a true kind of, but this movement up has been very impressive. Very, very impressive. Let me just set this a little bit, because I realized I set it a bit wrong. Cool. Move that there. Oh. Gotta update the gap. Yeah, they're just kind of pushing the gap up, which when that usually happens, that's because there's actually a lot of buyers coming in that are gapping it. So the gap looks like it's pushing higher and higher. Obviously, you don't want to, do you know what I mean? You don't want to chase it, because it's just doesn't make any sense. But all right, here's the first little bit of chunk of sellers again coming in. To see a true bottom, what's shorting at? Sorry, 1 minute. Shorting at 1.9% down NQ. Potentially, yeah. Only because of the volume that came in. I think the sellers might have a bit of craziness in them. Because when they do come in, okay, look at that. Look, now they're starting to come in a bit more. It doesn't look bad now. This might be that I think that was it. I think that's it. Potentially here. Like the bottom. Someone asked about the bottom. Who was it? So to see a true bottom, what's an A plus? Yeah, so an A plus setup on a true bottom is like a massive chunk of volume. It looks like they just tested the gap on the other side and putting up. It wasn't truly. Again, I want to get below the gap before looking to short it. If we're trading above it, technically it's more of a buy than it is a short. Does that make sense for me? But I do wonder if that gap has been. It has been. It's moved. It's been filled all the way up to here. I didn't update it. Point of control there. This. I'm gonna wait a bit. I wouldn't jump in just yet. To someone who was saying about the bottoming out or topping out, It's when you see an extreme amount of volume, because that's usually take profits getting hit. And when take profits get hit, whoever caused the move, up or down, they are essentially out the market, right? And if they're out the market, there's a good chance it just kind of stops there, So you would see, for example, huge amount of sell volume all of a sudden, 600 contracts, something ridiculous. That is someone's take profit getting, hit, essentially. Or if we topped out like of a serious move, not just like a little retracement or something, you would see the same as well. Like big amount of buy volume, that would be again take profits getting hit. Okay. So normally when you see that massive spike in volume and delta, that indicates profit was taken. Where is your picture? What do you mean? Oh, sugar. My camera's overheated. So sorry, I had my account over the actual stream, so I couldn't see that my camera was down. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do. It just overheats sometimes, the camera, and then it just gives me no picture. I know it's mental. For some reason, this camera overheats. But you can still hear me and everything. So, I mean, you don't really need to look at my face. But that's, yeah. Normally it lasts a bit longer. But earlier, before I came on here, I was doing so many different interviews. For the last 4 hours before that, I was not live, but interviewing people on Ola Prime, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's just really kind of, it's been on since the morning, non-stop, essentially. So it's kind of just died a bit. Here, topping out. I'm not saying this is the top, but this is how it would look like if you were to top out. Now, this wouldn't make any real sense because we didn't actually break a high. So that doesn't make sense. But that's normally how it looks, by the way, Mo. Was it Mo, I think, who said it? Or asked? Yeah, Mo. That's kind of how it would look. You would see like a chunk of heavy buyers, if it's topping out, not bottoming out. And then that would be like take profits is how it will look. So to see a true bottom, I already got that. President Donald Trump participates in a cabinet meeting. Yes, later on he is talking. You're absolutely right. We'll get a W formation on candlesticks for a bottom. Sometimes, yeah, of course, you can get that, double bottom, if you want to call it a W formation, whatever you want to call it. You get that as well. Absolutely, that can occur. We have had that, to be fair. If you actually look, we did have it. But in terms of volume, I didn't see any real reason why this would be the bottom, truth be told. I'm not seeing it, honestly. I'm not seeing like a massive concentration of, like here more, yeah. That's a bit better, right? But the delta, everything, even like the delta percent is only negative 3%. Normally that spikes up a lot more because there's far more, take profits being hit and people exiting the market. So the delta percent of the overall volume will be like spikes. In terms of the overall volume, I have not seen, but this is the bottom, truth be told. I really haven't. So I don't know. I don't believe that it's the bottom of the day. I mean, anything can happen, of course. It could be, I don't know, the market certainly doesn't have to do that. But then if profits haven't been taken from all these sellers, then what you're going to see then is, and if buyers can hold it, what you're going to see is just all these sellers slowly getting out the market as the market drifts up. They're all going to kind of get out and take their money. So you'll see that probably occur. But, oh, look at this. Look at that. They're coming in. Can they actually break below? Who knows? That was a dramatic move, wasn't it? They're still just ranging. They're still playing games. Yeah, I don't know what else really to do here. We're just kind of ranging a bit up and down here. Nothing's really happening. It's a tough one. It is a tough one, truth be told. I'm trying to think. Oops, sorry about that. Let's try and pull up the account. I might look at the 5 minute to see if I can see. It looks a lot more for me. It looks like, yeah, I don't believe that's the bottom. I know we had a W formation on the 1 minute, but the volume just doesn't add up for me. You had, negative 20,000 sellers basically in this move down. They have to get out the market somehow, right? The only way, where's all that volume gone? I mean, they're either still pretty much in the market. Oh, no, I don't want to leave site. Stupid mouse. They're either still in the market, right? And then therefore this would be more of a pullback. Or if the buyers decide to keep coming in heavy and they actually start making real progress, then you're going to see all the sellers drop out crazily, and I'll be like, oh God, it's a reversal. But they don't seem to have truly dropped out yet. They're still very confident, the sellers, that this market's going down. They haven't yet got out their positions, really. So all those sellers are essentially in trouble right now. They could, I mean, look, they could be. I don't think they are yet. They seem to be calm, and since this was institutional selling, I'm gonna guess that their calmness is good for sellers, because they haven't exited. They haven't left their positions, And if they haven't left, they must still believe it's going down. And if they just haven't bothered to add more real, maybe they're looking for a deeper pullback so they can add more size. I don't know what their game plan is. This is the thing. You can only kind of assume what their game plan is and try and guess logically, what would you do if you were a big institution, you sold all the way somewhere here and you've just been selling, you're up a huge amount. You're going to want to get out the market, obviously, at some point. Where would that be? Well, that's anyone's guess, right? You don't know. They could be willing to hold this for hours, right? They could, want to get out down here. Who knows? Like, no idea where they're getting out, right? That's almost impossible to figure out. You can only react and see, oh, I think they're starting to drop out now when you see it. But I haven't seen any of them actually leave, really. So, like, no doubt, of course, there were some sellers getting out the market here. Like, of course, there's going to be sellers getting out a little bit here and here. But the mass majority are still very much in the markets, right? So that leads me to believe, okay, what would their game plan be? Say hypothetically, they're not getting out the market from this pullback. This hasn't really phased them. Then they're either not interested really selling here because they feel that they could probably sell at a higher price and make even more money and jump in and defend. So they're not really, feeling the danger right now. Or they're not willing to put any more risk on the table. They've maxed out. If they've maxed out, not willing to really defend and put any more volume into the market on the sell side, then if we do start dropping out, the rest of their positions, they're going to start, all right, let's start getting out, and they'll start getting out, and then the market will have more freedom to actually really, move up. So those are really the two situations that could occur. And at this moment in time, I don't know which one it would be. I mean, it's I can't predict the future. I can only react to what I'm seeing, right? Either one is as likely, I guess. I would assume that they're more likely looking for longer term moves with the amount of volume that was put in. And because of that, they're going to hold through little pullbacks. They're not really phased by this. And they're expecting that the market is still going to push down again. And as it maybe starts pushing down, they might, who knows, add more volume. Who knows? But as far as what I'm seeing, what happened here, no sellers actually really got out at large. You could argue that they were getting out in little bits. They placed large orders right at the top here, got in, and they've kind of been scaling out as the market's been dropping. You could argue that could have happened, but the reason I say no to that, less so, is because every time we had a slight pullback, those aggressive sellers instantly came back in. So they added more size. Why would they scale out and then immediately only to jump back in again? That doesn't really make any logical sense to me. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't see the benefit of that. I mean, maybe they did, but I just don't think that makes sense to me. So if they exit, we would have seen a big spike up. Not if they exited passively. If they exited as a take profit, it would be a passive order, and it would work almost like absorption. It would look, you would just see large volume, but it wouldn't actually really go anywhere. But then they're out the market, no longer really interested in selling. So if buyers were to come in, they have much more freedom to push the market up, basically. They don't have to battle any real sellers anymore. So then the market can push up should it want to. So that's kind of, the idea. Are you planning to make a deep dive into Delta Session CVD guide? Yes, absolutely. I have a hard time using it to see if it's true bottom or true reversal. I don't use it for the, reversal or bottom. I use it only in consolidation, like we're in now, right? So we're in a very tight kind of consolidation, right? Up, down, up, down. The market's not going anywhere. So neither buyers or sellers are winning. It's very kind of balanced, right? So I'd look at the cumulative delta at the start of where we started ranging, so here, and it was basically negative 19,000, right? And then I would look at where we are now, still, not going anywhere, but we're negative 19,800. So there's been an extra 800 sellers have actually come in to this market and couldn't push the market down. So that means the efficiency of the market, the more efficient side of the market is still the buyers. The buyers are actually still more able to push the market up than sellers are to push it down. Granted, it's only 800 contracts. It's not the biggest amount. If it was a few thousand, that would be like a bit more like, whoa, okay, yeah. But nonetheless, the buyers are technically better at pushing the market up in this moment in time when the sellers are pushing it down. Okay. So that doesn't mean, it's guaranteed to go up, especially, with the amount of sellers that we've had and the fact that they're still in the market. I would presume the sellers could overpower the buyers should they really want to, right? Because they've proven today they're serious about it and they still have money on the line. So that at some point they're going to probably want to defend. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one to call right now for me. What I do know is I wouldn't want to be in a trade right this second. Because the cumulative will be tell me it's more likely to go up. But on a normal day, I would say, yeah, more likely to go up. You would more likely want to be buying at the bottom of the range, potentially, at least to the top of the range or a bit of an extension, right? But considering the amount of damn sellers we had who are still in the market, if they choose to defend and really come in, because again, it's only 800 contracts. This whole point here, the institutional sellers who started these moves haven't really come back in, right? They haven't really come back in and sold. It's only a difference of 800 contracts. And it's been, almost 20 minutes of sideways movement. They were pushing, easily way more than 800 contracts in a single candle earlier, 791, 2000. Like, then they're not really coming in heavy, even though they could. Do you know what I mean? They have the ability to do it, but then kind of not really doing it. Can you please show again how you find your low volume levels that you watch for reactions from, and how you identify the short-term and long-term area to draw the volume profile? Yes. So today we had this, for the short term, we had this big kind of push down, right? So now I've drawn the volume profile from the top of the push all the way to, where we currently are. And I'm, again, just looking for the little gaps, right? The little gaps that get formed. So we've had, there's not really any good ones. There's one we're currently below, and we keep kind of rejecting off this one here, right? And then we got a longer medium term one here. I think that's more than the 15-minute. You can see that. It's not great, to be honest. I much prefer the one below it. That one looks much nicer. And that one was drawn from, the bottom of this longer term move up that we've had. Look at this sell-off. Wow, you can really see how it sold off. And again, it's just low volume sandwich between two higher volume nodes, right, on either side. That's all it is. Okay. Trump is speaking. Oh yeah, when's he start? What time in the UK? Are we speaking now? It says on my time that Trump is speaking not till like many hours. Oh, you mean later on Trump is speaking? He's not speaking now, is he? Because if he's speaking now, all bets are off, man. Get out the market. Don't trade. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the buyers are able to push it a little bit more. They seem to be definitely far more efficient than the sellers right now. It's live now. What the hell is Trump speaking for? Why is he off schedule for? Man, I can't keep up with all these changes. And it says here on my calendar, it says 9:30 p.m. my time. It's only 4:40 here. Well, I'm not in a trade, so it doesn't really matter. But it's going to kind of affect, if I do see a trade, it's going to kind of affect my decision whether I want to enter or not now. But maybe they know. Look, the people who sold earlier were obviously institutions. There's always going to be insider trading, right? That exists, always will. Maybe they know that Trump is going to say something. They have insider information that might push the market down. So they've got in very early as well. Yes, I think it's more down to the whole Tesla thing. That kind of coincides. I think that's a reaction to that. And a lot of, just people unloading as a whole. Panic selling a bit set in. Let's put it that way. But I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so many different scenarios that could be true. You just kind of have to wait it out and see which one is looking the most likely. That's all you can do as a trader. Look at this. They're pushing it up now, the buyers. Like I said, the sellers are just refusing to come in. They're not really defending anymore. But I still believe that at some point they will, because they're in the market. What are they doing? Well, it's just gonna get stopped out? Absolutely not. Like they're gonna protect their position somehow. And it's a little bit strange that I haven't seen that defensive play happen yet. I don't know. Holding a cabinet meeting. Don't think he'll talk about tariffs now, but who knows? Yeah, you never know. You might just let something slip. That's the thing. But all right, shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. How long has this stream been going? Oh, over 2 hours already. It's been one hell of a long stream. Let me just check my calendar really quick. I think I have something I need to be at in a little bit. So I will have to leave very soon. Yeah, I can probably do. Oh, this looks very interesting. Real quick. That looks really good. You see how the buyers just got trapped there? Normally that's very nice. And then that looked very good. But yeah, I can stay on for another like 5-10 minutes, but then I do unfortunately have to go, guys. But we'll see how this plays out in terms of are the actual sellers gonna, come in? They're still not coming in aggressively. I don't know what the hell they're doing, truth be told. There were many gaps during the dump, so the price will try to fill them up before sellers will appear. Potentially, but I can't imagine they'll allow it to retrace too much with the amount of volume that they got in the market. I mean, this is not really terrible if so much selling happened that it's a relatively low pullback right now. Like, it's not dangerous territory if you're sold a lot at the top here at market open. You're still going to be okay. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm panicking. But the closer we kind of get to these pullbacks where a lot of other sellers came in, you're probably going to expect them to try and defend a bit. That's why it's always hard to break highs as a whole, right? That's why the market will struggle to break highs, because people are defending. The more higher we get, at some point the panic will set in and everyone will be like, shit, what's going on? And they'll start getting out of their orders, and it'll just get out, and then the market will start shooting up. And that's essentially, the reaction that happens. But the sellers are very calm. They're not, enjoying your stream, mate. Thank you, Risky Biscuits. Can you leave the footprint chart on, please? Just leave it running. Thanks, Sammy. Learned a lot since yesterday. Can't wait for the fun tomorrow. Thank you, Peter, and you're welcome. I am 1.3k up to date. Charis, you're smashing it, man. Smashing it. He might decide to drop a new run. Who knows? You never know. You never know what will happen. Sorry, God, I'm just lighting up a. I'm not going to say the word because I think YouTube's a bit shitty about it. But since you can't see me, it's fine. All right. Yes, buyers are still. I don't know. But it's kind of died off. It's become a bit boring. The market's a bit. Blaze it up, bro. After a good session, it's YouTube though. They don't allow that stuff, sadly. Can't show it as far as I'm aware. I don't know, you might be able to, but I don't want to get more pissy on me and start telling me, oh, we're gonna demonetize your video or remove you from the program because you showed a cigarette in your stream. You never know. Look at this. These buyers, yeah, I'm still not convinced though. Like, I'm not convinced. I think any moment you're just going to see sellers come in and then boom, 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 like just take over again, like they did. I mean, they did a little bit there. They've put in a bit of size, but I think it's big enough yet. I think they're just crazy earlier. Give it a puff. Exactly. I mean, this is the first bit of decent sell volume now, finally coming in. They're not very effective. I mean, look, they've put in 300 contracts. It's not it's a decent amount, and they haven't really pushed down. But I think they have the ability to just keep adding and adding and adding and keep that mark and just overwhelm the buyers. And I think the buyers are going to be more cautious than the sellers. If you bought, anywhere here, you're probably going to be far more cautious, and be like, yeah, okay, I'm getting out. Whereas the sellers are going to feel far more confident today. So again, psychology has a big, what do you call it? A big play in how the markets react. So you always want to put yourself in the shoes of the other side of what other buyers and sellers are potentially doing. If you were a buyer, how would you feel if you saw, sellers slowly starting to get aggressive again? You're probably going to be on edge a little bit and be like, okay, I'm going to get out if they push it down a bit too much. Whereas if you were a seller today, you're still in your position, and you see a bit of a retracement, you're going to be like, what's the likelihood they're just going to reverse everything and go back to my break even? Probably unlikely, right? Can happen, but very unlikely. So you're going to be a bit more confident in holding your trades. But that was the most bent line I've ever drawn in my life. What was that? That little chunk of sellers, though, they're kind of holding them back a bit. They're not doing terrible. Do you use volume profile? Absolutely. Absolutely use volume profile. I've got volume profile everywhere. I'm going to get rid of session volume profile. That's just turn that off. That's just distracting me. But yeah, I use volume profile on legs. I actually released a video, Oak, a couple of days ago. It's the most recent video on my channel. I go over exactly how I draw out my zones, how I use the volume profile, things like that. So feel free to watch that. Autumn 9. Good to see you. How are you? Look at this. So let's see. So we're slowly starting to see that change in balance. So look, when the sellers came in, 18.8, negative 18.8, right? We're now at negative 18.6. Okay, there's a slight diversion. It's not a huge one, but we've pushed down a bit more. Whoops, even though more buyers have come in, right? So the buyers are slowly losing a little bit of efficiency here. Now it's a very small, it's only a couple of candles, it's nothing massive, but this is the first kind of sign of that divergence happening where we're pushing down a bit more, but the buyers are actually the more aggressive side. It could start hinting that this is where the sellers will start taking over again and potentially getting this market down, right? So the buyers' efficiency has slowly stopped. And the only reason the buyers were more efficient in this range is because essentially the sellers didn't really want to come in massively. They weren't ready to really start selling for whatever reason. Can't tell you why, they just weren't. But it looks like, they're starting to slowly add their orders passively. They're slowly starting to absorb these buyers. They're looking like they're potentially looking to start pushing it back down again. You marked, I watched that vid and subscribed. Thank you, Roman. Good, saw your latest video. Awesome. Thank you, Autumn. Glad you enjoyed it. You marked negative 371 delta. Yes, so I marked it because that was the kind of, well, for the most recent time, that was the biggest chunk of actual delta we had from the sell side, right? And it actually was the first bit of efficient play from the sellers, right? And they managed to defend and not allow get broken up. So this is the first kind of interesting part where the shift is slowly starting to curve back onto the sell side, right? So that's the only reason I marked it out. Ah, shit, my time's running out. It's just about, it looks like it's just about to get a little bit interesting, but unfortunately, guys, I do have to go. I do have to go. I would love to stay on a bit, but I do have to go, unfortunately. But I am back tomorrow, New York Open as normal. So join me then. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, Florida. Thank you, Cody, Thomas, Charis, Autumn, Risky Biscuits, everyone in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great one as well. Take care, guys. Peter, take care. Thank you.